I like that tie. Can I have that tie?
Sure, absolutely.
Thanks.
He was also shy.
By the end of the meeting.
Hope so. Got one son, but that's about it. Yeah. Hopefully this type of.
Now we need to talk. Are you ready? Are you ready? I've heard a lot, I know. It never stops. I feel that. So bad that we're getting punished.
Considering what all this is for taxes.
You look over that stuff.
I haven't had a chance.
Ryan called me the other day, no big hurry.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that.
Trying to figure
Yeah,
out.
that's why we possible.
Oh, you wanna press the button? Lori.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Have you had your camper?
We're on? We're good.
Have done
Okay,
the,
call the meeting order at 7. First is the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag is ordered tonight. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, the approval of minutes.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second motion. Motion made by Mrs. Riddell, second by Mr. Pfaff to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mr. Connick?
Yes.
Mr. Mashinsky? Yes. Mr. Pfaff? Yes. Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Next, the approval of claims.
Make a motion, we approve the claims.
Second. Motion made by Mr. Pfaff, second by Mr. Mashinsky to approve the claims. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mr. Connick?
Yes.
Mr. Mashinsky? Yes. Mr. Pfaff? Yes. Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Utilities?
I guess a quick glimpse of what happened this week. I know they're updating, they're in the process of updating controls. They're finishing up the backwashing system. They actually had to go through the process by hand, which was good, so they could actually see which valves had to move when, and then to further understand the control system in case anything ever did happen to that, make sure it was in check. We recalibrated all our sensors in the wastewater plant, replaced one. Looks like they completed hydrant flushing. Also, we went through an interview for a part-time position for the laborer. I'd like to make a motion that we hire Michael Payne for that position. He's going to be attending school, I believe, at P&W, so he'd be bouncing back and forth, working the summers and bouncing back and forth between classes. But it is needed in the department to do odds and ends and help with mowing and smaller projects.
I'll second.
Oh, yeah, and then I would like to also in that motion have him paid out of water as well.
Okay. I'll second the motion that we hire Michael Payne as a part-time laborer, salary to pay out of water. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mr. McConick?
Yes.
Mr. Shinsky? Yes. Mr. Pat? Yes. Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Anything else on utilities? I think that's it. Okay. Streets, we have a Reef Ride invoice, Jim. Yes. We have yeah. It's for the,
This is the third one.
yeah, it's got retainage taken out of it, I think.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
16,650.
Okay, and we have a letter from Lautner, the engineer, recommending that we pay this. We analyzed it, and you made that a motion, Jim?
I'd make that a motion with the third invoice for Reef Rider.
Okay, and I'll second the motion. Motion made by Mr. Bushinsky, second by Albert to pay the third invoice to Reef Riley for $16,650. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell? Mr. Connick?
Yes.
Mr. Bushinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Pratt? Yes. Albert votes yes, passes 5-0.
And on that, we have a couple things left on the punch list to take care of, and guys, let's contact Bubba tomorrow. We have a manhole that was
missed and one that's not level. So when we get that done, we'll be submitting our tickets to the state and even out the remainder because we're already working on the next phase.
Do you have anything to add? What do you want me to add? I'll do it. Well, we hired Michael Payne, and he reported on your report. Not as
Thorough as you.
thorough as you would have. So if you'd like to
I'll do it real quick, how's that?
he already said that.
The backwash controls, big help. I don't know if everybody understood what happened with that. We replaced the controls that told the high service pumps to kick on, and the way the controllers were set up, they had to talk to each other. The problem we ran into was, there were certain signals it wasn't getting for it to run, so basically, we had to move ahead and do the backwash controls too. They were giving us some really big problems. And the problem with the controls that we had, they were completely obsolete, outdated, and no one was supporting them any longer. So that's why we had to do that. For any equipment, they're really busy, so they're putting it at whoever's the highest priority. Still waiting for the command report so we can finish tweaking the rest of the control system. We're still considering too on whether we want to go to SCADA or the mission system, and we will probably know by next month which direction we want to go on that. There wasn't any real big problems at the wastewater plant. We got the sludge pump overhauled at the right time. It didn't require any real major things. The impeller was good and all the high price ticket items were good. Tom helped us a lot with getting this gas detection system taken care of. That was great that he did that. We have reduced the alum dosage, and we should see a savings on that probably in the next month. Or well, because I'm guessing 25%. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Things are going well. We haven't had any plant upsets or anything like that. Getting Mike involved with this is going to help it tremendously. Just getting stuff clean and that type of thing. So, other than that, everything's going good.
Good.
I like that tie. Can I have that tie?
Sure, absolutely.
Thanks.
He was always so shy.
By the end of the meeting.
I hope so. Got one son, but that's about it. Yeah. Hopefully this type one.
Now we need to talk. Are you ready? Are you ready? I've heard a lot, I know. It never stops. That's a problem. I feel about that. So bad that we're being punished.
We don't know anymore, we don't. I was considering one time, well, this is for taxes.
Did you look over that stuff?
I haven't had a chance to look through it.
Ryan called me the other day, so no big hurry.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that.
Trying to figure out.
That's what it is. Possible.
Oh, you want to press the button? Lori,
I'm good.
Yes,
Have you had your camera?
we're on? We're good.
Had none.
Okay, call the meeting order at 7. First is the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag is ordered tonight. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, the approval of minutes.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second motion.
Motion made by Mrs. Riddell, second by Mr. Pfaff to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mr. Koenig?
Yes.
Mr. Mashinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Next, the approval of claims.
I'll make a motion, we approve the claims.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Pfaff, second by Mr. Mashinsky to approve the claims. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mr. Koenig?
Yes.
Mr. Mashinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Utilities?
I guess a quick glimpse of what happened this week. I know they're in the process of updating controls. They're finishing up the backwashing system. They actually had to go through the process by hand, which was good, so they could actually see which valves had to move when, and then to further understand the control system in case anything ever did happen to that, make sure it was in check. We recalibrated all our sensors in the wastewater plant, replaced one. Looks like they completed hydrant flushing. Also, we went through an interview for a part-time position for the laborer. I'd like to make a motion that we hire Michael Payne for that position. He's going to be attending school, I believe, at P&W, so he'd be bouncing back and forth, working the summers and bouncing back and forth between classes. But it is needed in the department to do odds and ends and help with mowing and smaller projects.
I'll second.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then I would like to also in that motion have him paid out of water as well.
Okay. I'll second the motion that we hire Michael Payne as a part-time laborer, salary to pay out of water. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mr. McConick?
Yes.
Mr. Mashinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff? Yes. Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Anything else on utilities?
I think that's it.
Okay. Streets, we have a Reef Riley invoice, Jim,
Yes.
we have yeah. It's for the,
This is the third one.
yeah, it's got retainage taken out of it, I think.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
16,650.
Okay, and we have a letter from Wagner, the engineer, recommending that we pay this. We analyzed it, and you made that a motion, Jim?
I'd make that a motion, we pay third invoice for Reef Riley.
Okay, and I'll second the motion. Motion made by Mr. Mashinsky, second by Albert to pay the third invoice to Reef Riley for $16,650. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell? Mr. Koenig?
Yes.
Mr. Mashinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff? Yes. Albert votes yes, passes 5-0.
And on that, we have a couple things left on the punch list to take care of, and guys supposed to contact about it tomorrow. We have a manhole that was missed and one that's not level, so when we get that done, we'll be submitting our tickets to the state and even out the remainder, because we're already working on next year's.
Do you have anything to add? What do you want me to add? I'll do it.
Well, we hired Michael Payne, and he reported on your report. Not as
Thorough as you.
thorough as you would have, so if you'd like to
I'll do it real quick, how's that?
he already said that.
The backwash controls, big help. I don't know if everybody understood what happened with that. We replaced the controls that told the high service pumps to kick on, and the way the controllers were set up, they had to talk to each other. The problem we ran into was there were certain signals it wasn't getting for it to run, so basically we had to move ahead and do the backwash controls too. They were giving us some really big problems. And the problem with the controls that we had, they were completely obsolete, outdated, and no one was supporting them any longer. So that's why we had to do that. Pouring equipment, they're really busy, so they're putting that at whoever's the highest priority. Still waiting for the McMahon report so we can finish tweaking the rest of the control system. We're still considering too on whether we want to go to SCADATA or the mission system, and we will, probably know by next month which direction we want to go on that. There wasn't any real big problems with the wastewater plant. We got the sludge pump overhauled at the right time. It didn't require any real major things. The impeller was good and all the high price ticket items were good. Tom helped us a lot with getting the gas detection system taken care of. That was great that he did that. We have reduced the elm dosage, and we should see a savings on that probably in the next month. Or well, because I'm guessing 25%. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Things are going well. We haven't had any plant upsets or anything like that. Getting Mike involved with this is going to help tremendously. Just getting stuff cleaned and that type of thing. So, other than that, everything's going good.
Good, good. Sounds like the electric bills have continually.
Yeah, we're still down this month, so it's
Good.
doing well.
And I think we're going to see, and this has been a hot month, so the aeration system really runs a lot. Now, just to keep the DOs up, but some of the oxygen transfer just isn't as efficient, you know, in the higher.
The bugs don't like hot weather either.
No, you know, they want air conditioning too, and I just couldn't convince them that the town would go along with that, so.
We did, but Tom didn't want it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Any questions for utilities? Okay. Parks. No porta pots or anything? Parks look great. If you haven't seen some of the new apparatus, they got Bago game that's really cool. It's concrete, doesn't bounce like other boards do, and they've got it fixed so kids can't make a ramp out of it for their bikes and everything. That's real nice. Park looks great.
I think it says it's 600 pounds a piece, is that right? So,
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. They're
yeah, I saw
feeling
it.
anything.
yeah.
You don't remember being young, Jim?
They're pretty heavy duty. I'm not gonna comment on that.
Popo.
So for the month of June, we had 521 total calls for service. 124 of those were traffic stops, 208 business checks. We had, unfortunately, 2 overdoses, 15 assist other agencies, and 9 crashes. And next on, I was going to discuss was the parking ordinance. We have parking ordinance 2015-1.
Yes.
Ethan and I thought we had done a pretty good job putting that ordinance together, and I thought we were accomplishing quite a bit. Some folks in the town have found ways, creative ways to circumvent what our purposes were. Part of the parking ordinance is we were limiting parking in yards where people are driving up over the curb and over the sidewalk and parking in grass and making ruts, and then sidewalks are washing out. And a lot of the properties are close together, so we didn't want people parking in their grass, and then borders are so close, they started or whatever, then you constantly have a neighbor that's disturbed. What's happened is the way that the ordinance reads is it's got to be in a area designated or designed for parking. So what folks have started doing is they get a load of gravel, dump it in their grass, call it a parking place, and then in a few weeks the grass grows back up through the gravel. But the gravel's still there, so they're calling it a parking place. So that's, and then we have folks that have the narrow driveway, so they'll put 2 wheels off the driveway into the yard, and other folks are saying that they're parking in the yard, so they should be able to park in the yard, and it's just, it's a constant struggle with the community to try to get some kind of level playing ground where, and I don't know what to do with it. I'm stuck. And I had a discussion with Ethan about it, and I think he was pretty much ready to punch me in the throat, because I had a couple goofy questions for him. But it's what I run into when I'm talking to the folks that live here. It's the one thing that's been consistent since we established the ordinances. Everybody wants some way around parking in the yard, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm stumped.
And Darren and I have spent a lot of time kind of communicating about this and exchanged language back and forth with, what if we tweak this, what if we tweak that? I mean, it's not all water tower place, but I mean, a lot of it generates from there and the smaller, lot dimensions and, not sufficient parking for each one of those places. I mean, there's certainly yard parking that goes on through the older parts of town, but a lot of the complaints and issues kind of tend to center on water tower.
And I think some of the dissension comes from the fact that in the old part of town, there's a lot of areas that don't have curb. So over the years, there really is no tree lawn, because a tree lawn is defined as the property between the curb and the sidewalk. So in the old part of town, there is no tree lawn. So the easements have been used as parking.
And there's plenty of parking and gravel there, right? I mean, there's plenty of people who just have gravel and they pull off the side of the road and that's where they park.
It's
And
been
there's
established.
places where you can't even see, you go around the corner, because that's what they've done, right?
So there are different circumstances, but the folks in the different neighborhoods don't see it as different circumstances. So I'm stumped, and Ethan has some fantastic ideas, but I was kind of beaten up a little bit the way that the community does. I think Ethan has fantastic ideas, but it seems like there's always some way to twist it, and I don't know how to get around that.
I have a question. So if they put gravel in their yard, or any improvements like that, aren't they required to have some permit, or isn't there some kind of control on that?
Well, one, I mean, because they're required to do it doesn't mean that they do it, so it kind of becomes an enforcement issue there. I mean, if they're putting gravel in, then I think that probably is enough to trigger lot coverage issues, so they need to make sure that they're in compliance with that. The two ways I see of trying to tackle this, and I don't think we're gonna solve all of these problems, is include a definition for approved parking area to kind of beef that up a little bit. And then revise this language right now. There's language in there that basically you can't operate a vehicle to drive over a curb unless it's through like a curb cut. And I guess my understanding of a lot of what's occurred in water tower places, there aren't specific curb cuts out there, so that's part of the reason why people are trying to push back on that language. So I think if Darren and I try and work together and tweak that, I think that puts us in a little bit better position, but I mean, we're not going to be able to come up with language that's going to deal with every circumstance, and there's obviously people that are going to want to try and push the limits no matter what.
And I think Ethan and I working together on it, I think we can come up with something about it. And I think that's what I wanted to present you with is, we do have to beef it up, we have to make some kind of change, and in the process, you're probably gonna get some pushback.
And how do you differentiate the other part of town from water tower?
Right.
I mean, how do you do that?
Well, it's just the physical makeup is that we don't have curbs in the old part of town, so there is no tree line.
Right.
There is none, there's no sidewalk to wash out because you haven't created that barrier with the curb, so.
So make sure that that's in there in the
Yeah,
definition, and then you can just say it doesn't apply.
My house is the worst or best example, depending on which way you look at it. There's no sidewalk.
Right.
There's nothing. And it's gravel when I moved in there, so the sidewalk actually went around and just turned where Mark replaced that sidewalk. That's how it was in the 90s when I bought the house. So I don't know what you do there. There would be no place to park I don't know where you'd even park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it does help with the old part of town is so compact. The citizens that have adopted those areas as parking, it helps keep the streets clear. It helps with sweeping, it helps with plowing. It's
What
really.
about, can you put it with, if there aren't curbs or a tree lawn within so many feet of the edge of the pavement? Parking is restricted within, like Chris's house within 12 feet or something?
Mike, what we did was we had the same problem, and we finally was able to resolve it to the best of our ability, was the issue of the curb. If you have a curb, because they were doing the same thing, and they were literally breaking the curbs down, parking their vehicles in the yard. Like you said, there's no curb cut, so where there's no curb cut, of course, it's higher. They would drive across that, and they would just slam the curb down, or lift it up, or whatever the case may be. So what we finally did was, we said, if there's a curb, you can't do that, no parking in the tree line. If there was not a curb, then you know, it's kind of, because we had the same problem, so over there, exactly.
Probably every small town has that.
Yeah, yeah,
It-
exactly.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem unique to us. I just didn't want to blindside everybody with you. There's probably gonna be some pushback. I've laid off of it, the ordinances, as I've been speaking with Ethan, just so I don't create more havoc. I think once we kind of nail it down, then we'll hit it again and kind of pull everything back together.
Well, yeah, because that got started, I think, was a couple years back, Darren, when that guy was parking his camper and everything else, running across the sidewalk. It made such a rut in there, it undermined the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And we had a.
Yeah, and that's expensive, you know, it's, and I know we all wanna take care of the sidewalks, and I don't think people think about that they're changing the water flow when they do that and creating a problem.
And right now, we've got sidewalks, thank you, county and Walton Kelly, that they've put in for the school, safe passage of the school, and they've got tree line, it's about this wide, and it's just dirt. At first, I heard they were supposed to put sod in it. So we're talking with them right now, because what we want to do is blacktop up to the sidewalk. Get that dirt out of there. You can go up on South Razor Street and see where the mail lady has already, it was in there a day, I think, and it got all smashed down out there, and that's not gonna work when we're plowing snow, so that we're trying to get resolved through the county, so. It has problems, and people don't understand, we try to take care of things the right way, you know,
Right.
we're doing what we can do, and,
Most people do care, but it's
yeah, it's
a
just
small percentage.
small percentage of.
The second ordinance issue I wanted to ask the board about was, we don't have anything in our nuisance ordinance that addresses outside work or contractors or anything like that. I haven't had a lot, but I've had a few complaints about the timing of contractors. We have some contractors that will come in and start building and doing work at 5:30 in the morning. And they'll go until well past dark if they can. So there have been times that I've gotten phone calls, don't you have something that covers this work and the hours of the work? There are some cities, LaPorte being one of them, that had a limit. Contractors couldn't begin work until 7 a.m. and they had to stop at a certain time in the evening. And I didn't know if you folks saw a value in that, or if it's something that we just need to deal with.
I think it's a good idea. Yeah. There's no reason people should be doing work at 5:30 in the morning.
Okay.
That's just, especially disrupting several, think about the impact if you're running impacts or you're running a call.
Well, I think it's a lack of caring for the community that they're trying to serve, too.
Yeah.
Unless you work with
Yeah, I get that. There are people that do work midnight.
right?
But at the same time, you gotta respect,
Majority, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't please
Okay.
everybody.
And Ethan and I can work on, and would that be appropriate, the nuisance, would that be,
I think we would probably put that under the contractor registration
okay.
ordinance,
Yeah.
probably in those requirements, but maybe, we'll look at it, but I think that's my initial thoughts on that.
Would that make a difference if I get up at 5:30 in the morning and start doing something in my own yard?
Mowing grass.
I don't.
Well, we don't have a common sense ordinance, so that would make go with it, right?
And that's probably something that will come up, because I actually, down at the end of Chandler, down further from where I live, there's a landscaper that works there, and he starts early, so he'll get up and he'll mow his grass at 5 in the morning, before he goes to work. So I don't know if that's something, language we want to put as a whole.
We'll have to give some thought to that. I mean, I know that the restrictions I've seen are usually limited to contractors. I don't know that I've seen examples out there where it restricts private property owners, but we can look at that as
Well, if you do the lawn mowing, then snow blowing, 4:30 in the morning, is gonna happen too, right?
Right, right.
That I can see a little more.
Yeah.
Somebody's gotta be to work at 6 and the driveway's that.
Right, to get out, right? I get it.
That I get, but
Not gonna stop that.
it's mowing, the lawn mowing would be there at 7 just the same.
Mhm, right?
And you don't really have to get out. It's wet, the grass is too wet to mow.
In other, LaPorte, is it restricted just to contractors?
The only thing I remember from LaPorte is the contractor.
Yeah, 'cause like the snow blowing, people, you know, if you're in a blizzard, you're gonna
You
be
gotta
out
get
there
out,
2 to
right?
3 times.
Yeah,
a
right,
night.
you might have to get out. I wanna think that
I've been up there.
You've done
your
it.
neighbors are gonna handle it one way or another. If you're mowing lawn at 5 in the morning, eventually they're gonna
Throw beer bottles at you.
do something,
Mhm.
They're only the ones that stayed up all night.
And then the last thing I have, Mike, is the junkyard, behind Fairview, Paul's. He's stockpiling tires, he's just got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tires back there. And we've got some complaints from the residents on Fairview about mosquitoes and stagnant water and odor and.
Snow blowing, 4:30 in the morning, is gonna happen too, right?
Right, right.
That I can see a little more.
Yeah.
Somebody's gotta be to work at 6 and the driveway's that.
Right, to get out, right? I get it.
That I get, but
Not gonna stop that.
it's mowing, the lawn mowing would be there at 7 just the same.
Mhm, right?
And you don't really have to get out. It's wet, the grass is too wet to mow.
In other, LaPorte, is it restricted just to contractors?
The only thing I remember from LaPorte is the contractor.
Yeah, 'cause like the snow blowing, people, you know, if you're in a blizzard, you're gonna
You
be
gotta
out
get
there
out,
2 to
right?
3 times.
Yeah,
a
right,
night.
you might have to get out. I wanna think that
I've been up there.
You've done
your
it.
neighbors are gonna handle it one way or another. If you're mowing lawn at 5 in the morning, eventually they're gonna
Throw beer bottles at you.
do something,
Mhm.
They're only the ones that stayed up all night.
And then the last thing I have, Mike, is the junkyard, behind Fairview, Paul's. He's stockpiling tires, he's just got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tires back there. And we've got some complaints from the residents on Fairview about mosquitoes and stagnant water and odor and.
I don't think
I
that's.
sent some pictures in today.
It's owned light industrial.
But it has to be a variance for a junkyard though.
Well,
Right.
we need to look at it. Charlie's looked at it and put together some thoughts on language that he thinks he applies in the zoning ordinance. I wanna take a look at it, cause I mean, there's outdoor storage issues there on top of it, so, Charlie and I will put our heads together. That is, I mean, we'll certainly keep you updated, but if there's action to be taken on that, that's probably gonna be initiated by the BZA. That falls under their authority, but I'll certainly keep you aware. And I would anticipate there'll probably be a letter that will go out, you know. seeking
Well, wasn't there a
to
big
address
open space out there in the back? Is that where he's dumping them?
Where the pit was,
Yeah.
I don't know what it looked like before he was there.
where the
Used to
pit,
be a pit.
where the pit was. Yeah, that was filled,
Sand out there.
her dad filled the pit.
Oh, it was already filled in.
Yeah,
So
you
he's
guys
not, he's
filled
not
it, yeah.
dumping them there.
Oh,
He's got we saw some photographs of it, there's some equipment out there that it looks, I don't know if it's like a conveyor or what it is, a tire shredder, but there's a large number of tires out there, and I think they're immediately adjacent to the residential properties that abut that, so.
It's within less than 200 feet of the backyards on Fairview.
I think those are regulated. I guess regulated.
Mike, in the last couple of days, last year, I had let the town board know that I was nominated for the FBI National Academy. And I made it through their application process and I was put on the waiting list. Here in the last week, I've had 2 phone calls from our representative for this area from the FBI asking me about time frames and if I'm still interested, so it's a competitive process. I don't know that I'm going to be selected, but they must be looking at me. If that were to come up, the next academy would be in spring of 2019. So I would want the town board to be aware of that ahead of time. If I were selected, I'd be asking permission to attend. It's free.
the school closed, so.
What an honor,
Mhm.
what an honor.
I would hate to tell them no if I was selected, but it would require me to go to Quantico, and I'd be gone for 10 weeks. But it is, other than driving there and driving home, it's 100% free housing, food, everything. So just so that you're aware that at some point I may ask permission if they do select me.
Going to the bigs. That's a baseball sign, well, that's not soccer. We had a discussion earlier on soccer.
Oh.
I watch Quantico on TV.
That's a cool place. Anything else, please?
I'm done.
Good luck, I hope.
That's cool, very cool.
Finance, I don't think we have anything, we just had our budget workshop, that's about it. Miscellaneous, Jan? How are you tonight?
Good, thank you.
Good.
I was here in April about the Celebration Car Show for the resale shop. And we're getting a lot of excitement about it. Of course, you never know if that excitement is gonna really be that people are coming. But I think the worst thing I could do is have to turn people away, that we don't have any more space. And you agreed to close the street from Main Street from Plain Street to Valparaiso Railroad. And I'm asking that maybe we could close the street down to Monon Street. And that would, the Baptist church has said we could use their parking lot. And the owner of Olga's Restaurant said that we could use her side parking lot. So with those two parking lots, if we could go down to Monon, I think we should have enough.
That's good turnout.
Where are you going, where are we shutting it down on this end?
You shut it down on Plain Street.
Plain.
So I had Plain to Valparaiso Railroad. So if I went to Monon, then I could have the Baptist parking lot and the side, the grassy lot on the west side of Olga's Restaurant. And I'm thinking that that should give me plenty more space.
Did you guys run into any problems with traffic coming off the 2? You didn't have anybody fussing or having trouble turning around or anything, or disobeying signs? Because my only concern is there's no through street to get them. If they come down, they got to do a turnaround and go back as opposed to going around. If you guys didn't run any problems,
Not that I
with your
know, there
fest.
was nothing that
Yeah.
I saw. Even being outside, I didn't even see anyone
Yeah.
come down.
okay, yeah, try it.
Because we had thought that, maybe we could go down Railroad Street and use Olga's side parking lot because she wasn't going to be open. But now it looks like she's going to be open, so she's gonna want her parking lot.
Sure.
Because my other thing was there's that grassy park that's on the west side of Railroad Street, that if that was town-owned, that we could park them there. But I would like to keep them as centered to the resale shop as we possibly can. Just,
Sure.
so they feel like they're part of the celebration.
Yeah, the only thing, I think Bubba would use the same barricades he used for the market, so you guys should be, I think you'd be good to go. And that's a pretty big area right there by Monon, there's plenty of room for them to turn around. And if they didn't run into any trouble, hopefully you wouldn't either then. It's the only thing I could think of. It's just, that's it.
What was the date of that again, Jan?
September 8th. And then I just had, if you agree on that, I just have a couple of other questions because I've never asked for a street to be closed down before. So we have a letter that we could hand out to the residents and the businesses in that area to let them know that there was a closure, so they're not inconvenienced. I didn't know if it's okay for us to do that or whether or not the town board sends them out a letter to let them know, not to park on the street and that kind of stuff.
You would probably need to post no parking signs. If your event starts, what time are you gonna start in the morning?
The cars can start coming in at 9:30 to start parking.
I would probably, by 11 o'clock the night before, I would have your no parking signs up on Main Street. And a good reference would be if you talk to Drew at Buchanan's. He just ordered some and went through the whole process of posting the signs. And I don't think did you guys have any trouble with parked cars, Olga?
No.
No, it worked well for you?
Yeah.
So That's your best bet, is to post it by order of police, no parking from this time to whatever date the street will be open.
So by order of police, like 11 PM,
Mhm.
no parking?
Mhm.
So Bubba can get, okay.
And then if there's a problem, that gives us the tools we need the next day to get cars out of there if we need to.
Okay, so then I need to get the no parking signs to put on the, okay.
And Drew could probably tell you who he used, and they would already have a setup for it, so maybe that would save you a setup fee.
Okay,
But I would definitely call Drew at Buchanan's and talk to him, because he did the whole thing.
Or maybe you could just borrow his signs.
And he may have kept them, he may have ordered enough that,
okay.
he may have got reusable ones, I don't know, I didn't see them.
Paper sign?
I think they're the
They have a
hard,
cardboard.
the flexible plastic.
Oh, okay. Cause I got 300 of them next door.
Okay, so then I could just, include that in a letter that I would give to
Mhm.
the rest,
Sure.
drop off to the
Yeah,
residents
you
or
might,
something
yeah,
like that.
make contact with them.
Okay. That's what we thought we should do. Okay, the other thing is we have a small mobile sign that we use at the church for special events that we put out. Would it be possible for us to put that on the corner of 421 and Valparaiso Street, so that we can direct the cars that are coming in for the show to come down Valparaiso Street to Main, because that's where we were gonna catch them at the Baptist church area right there, to get them registered and then get them parking on Main Street.
Should be okay as long as it doesn't block any.
Whose property is that?
It should be town, because that's where the
That, where the, on the
high
south
school.
side.
Full sign is,
Okay.
Yeah, well, that side is the, what's it called, the school sign, I'm not sure. who
Yeah,
owns
that would be
it.
the,
That
right there,
bit
is
there.
about where we need to
On
put
the
it.
other side of that street, it's our right of way, I think, between the sidewalk and the road, it's where
Okay.
that, big storm sewer cover is. That is ours, probably can set it on that cover,
Setzer probably let you use
and
this.
yeah,
Brian Setzer probably, I'm sure would let you use by the Dairy Queen side there.
Okay, so you would rather it was like on the Dairy Queen side?
well,
You
'cause
want-
we don't own that where the school is.
Right.
Okay,
That's the library. Right.
I just know on the other side of the street, south side of the street, we have that, because that's where that storm sewer is.
okay,
Probably for you guys, whatever's the most visible for your entrance, people are entering the most visible, whatever.
And you probably, when you decide on a location, should probably run that past Bubba, just to make sure that he doesn't think it creates any kind of visibility issues or,
okay,
you know, obstructs any lines of sight or anything like that.
okay. Do I need to put any signs up, like where you're barricading, no bicycles, no weapons, no alcohol, or anything, or is that not necessary? There's never been a, 'cause I didn't see a problem on Main Street, because there was any problem.
No, I think anything to do, I mean, that'd be in a public place, so, you know, whatever state statute would apply for being on a public street as far as weapons and open containers and stuff like that, that would all apply. And Bubba will take care of all your barricades and make sure the road closed signs are all up and visible. So,
Okay, is it okay if we put signs up, no bicycles, so we don't have kids coming through there and,
Sure.
and hitting the cars? Apparently, sometimes the car owners can be a little, please don't come near my car.
All the car shows I ran, they police themselves pretty well.
Well, it's just, I didn't know about kids with bicycles, but,
Sure,
you know,
Yeah, skateboards and all that.
skateboards
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that kind of stuff, that they come in, they lose their balance and fall into the cars, the car gets nicked and I get in trouble. So, okay, and do we have any extra, like, trash containers or anything that that can be put out on the street? I have some, like, where we're gonna have the food,
I don't think we have any extra, since everything's out at the park.
There aren't a lot out there, really, I mean, extras out there.
No, I mean,
or should I just check with Bubba if he's got anything
You can
back
check,
there?
yeah,
that we
check
could
with
put?
him, I mean,
Okay.
if he has something,
if we have some, I'm sure
it's
they'll
okay, yeah.
Okay. So may we have down to Monon?
Sure.
Thank you.
You already started planning on next year's show too?
Well, see, this is a 50th anniversary celebration, And I'm not planning on being here in the next 50 years.
Well, I mean, next year, the 51st. I don't mean in 50 more years, none of us will be here.
What I'm finding out is like once is enough.
Yeah, well, you will probably be here. You'll be here. Yeah, you won't be. I might
See after the meeting.
Okay.
110?
Right. We weren't planning on it because, we're gonna have a store open and porta potties cost a lot of money. So we have a store open and Jimmy said that they can come and look in. So we really were thinking, and we don't know where we would put porta potties.
Yeah.
Because we're using all the parking lots, and US Tire and Auto is giving us their parking lot, so we can set the DJ, the announcer there. So he's kinda tucked in, so he won't be so loud. And then our parking lot is cars and it's food. I don't know, you know, and I will say, we do have the Marines coming too.
That made him perk up, no Army guys.
They caught me at a car show where I was handing out flyers, and apparently they have to do so many, events with their recruiting, and they asked if they could come.
Check to see if they have garbage cans.
They do have some really big guys, so I think we're gonna have them help with parking.
Yeah, a lot of big guys, that might take care of your skateboards and bikes too.
That might help too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Is there anything else, you know, get ahold of Darren or Bubba or whatever on anything?
We're just trying to do it right and do it correctly, so that, you
And
know.
we got the August meeting, if something else comes up too,
Okay,
because you're in September. Okay,
thank you.
thank you. Plan Commission and BZA appointments.
This is something that it seems like probably once a year, when somebody resigns from one of these boards, that causes Lori and I to have to sit down and look at the statute and then go through everybody's name and political party affiliation. So we've had a couple of changes here, and my understanding is we're gonna have one more change at least to the makeup of the Plan Commission and Board of Zoning Appeals. So in response to that, Lori put together this kind of a summary of everyone's appointment. It includes information regarding their appointing authority, date of initial appointment, when their term expires, and contact information on there. Just as a housekeeping matter, if everybody's okay with it, what I'd like to have done tonight is if the town council could just go ahead and ratify its appointments here that are listed to the Planning Commission and Board of Zoning Appeals, just so we have that documented in our meeting minutes, those appointments were made. In addition, there's a number of those appointments that are made by the town council president, so Mike, obviously, that you're a party of one on that, so can't really make a motion to that effect. But if you can kind of acknowledge your ratification of all of those appointments, then we can kind of clean that up for our meeting minutes moving forward.
Okay, and then the members that are also by being on the town council.
Correct.
So appointment, Jane for Plan Commission, Jamie Oberly. His term is from tonight till July.
We recommend her.
Well, that's my appointment there. Yeah, it's an appointment.
Okay.
Until July 10th, 21. Tom Pfaff is on by member of the town council.
The town council appointment, correct?
Yes.
From one of the town members.
Yes. Harry Lowenthal is an appointment from tonight until July 10th of 21. Darren Mercer is an employee.
And appointed by the town council.
Right. Regina Riddell is a member of the council, appointed by the council. Jaron Skalka, that one is from February 9th, so that one, we've already got that one covered. But that's a council president appointment that expires February 9th of 19. Bill McMahon is an appointment by the council president to October 10th of 20. That was from October, so that one's already been done. So those, do we need to approve the council people that are on it, or are we good with just this?
I think let's go ahead and ratify the council appointments to the planning commission, just so we have that reflected in the meeting minutes.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we, appoint Tom and Darren and Regina as members to the planning commission as their position as town council persons and town employee.
Second motion.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Pfaff. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mr. Connick?
Yes.
Mr. Pachinski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff? Yes. Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. And then on the Board of Zoning Appeals, Appointment by Council President Dave Funkhauser from tonight until July 10th of 20, a 2-year term. Appointment of the Council President Debbie Lowenthal from tonight until July 10th of 20, 3-year term. Jaron Skalka is an appointment. He was appointed March 8th of 16, will expire March 8th of 18. That was a Council President appointment. Yeah, we'll have to get somebody to fill that spot.
Oh, yeah, we can forget, that's highlighted that.
Okay. Brad Wyszynski is an appointment by the Town Council from tonight until, two-year term until July 10th of 20. Bill McMahon is a appointment by the Plan Commission, so that's already been approved, not by us, from October 10th of 17 till October 10th of 20. That's a 3-year term. So I'd like to make a motion that we ratify these appointments to the BZA. Second. Motion made by Albert, second by Mr. Wyszynski to ratify the appointments to the BZA as I just read. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddle?
Yes.
Ms. McConic?
Yes.
Mr. Wyszynski?
Yes.
Mr. Powell? Yes. Albert votes yes, that passes 5-0. Anything else on miscellaneous? Anything on citizens' comments? Anything else come for the council? We're on a roll now. I will make a motion that we adjourn. Motion made by Albert, second by Mr. Wyszynski. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, being none, motion carries 5-0. Meeting adjourns at 7:40. Just shut the camera off.
Yes.
Not for the right one,
Oh, yeah, push the button.
Okay.
So what they want
Thank you.
is
Okay. It doesn't matter what they are.
Keep your motion. How you doing, sir? Good, how are you?
Fantastic. My house.